as we were going through the motions of also experiencing the drought ourselves, coming in to paint this fancy water mural, when people passed, they were inquisitive and they were concerned, they're coming to pay their bill, there is no water in their pipes. But it was even more of a reason and a way to engage them in discussion.
So within the Climate Resilient Water Sector in Grenada project, our aim is to educate everyone in Grenada about water conservation. So when they're going into one of the NAWASA offices, the first thing they see is this very positive, very vivid example of how water is used in Grenada. And we want to give people appreciation of how precious water is, where we have water, how we're using water, where the water comes from. So this is very important, and I think you can see that all in one painting at one glance, and it's definitely a conversation starter.
What strikes me with the mural is that it's clear that the artists have done a lot of research, because in a word it depicts the water cycle. It indicates rainfall, it indicates water in its natural form. There's a waterfall, there's a river. We see people doing their customary social activities, washing clothes and recreating and so in it. We see right down to the customer where a youngster is collecting water in a bucket or pot or something like that, which is the appropriate. It's not showing water being wasted, it's showing water being used in a responsible, constructive manner. If we look further back right behind me, and this is particularly pleasing, it emphasizes right in the middle of it the importance of water storage, water tanks. The authority is now promoting mainstreaming of rainwater harvesting and the use of water tanks. It also illustrates rainwater harvesting, although with a rain barrel. It shows the Granitang Lake, what I believe is meant to be the Granitang Lake. And it shows NAWASA's water treatment facilities and the distribution network and so on. So in a sense, it's like an amalgam of the water cycle, the natural water cycle, as well as the man-made interventions that NAWASA does to harness, treat, and distribute water.
So we started with the digital concept, which is the topic was provided by G. Cruz, basically about the conservation of water and show that through time. So once the design was complete, it went through a couple rounds of revision. Once it was approved, there was a couple changes. That was transferred into the wall, and that was done with a doodle method, which means that we took some paint and doodled the wall, which was funny because people thought that was the mural. But then that's what we used as a reference points to put our design. And then we just start painting until it's completed. And then we do a protective coat to prevent the damage from the elements.
I love art. For me, art is one of the means where you can transmit a message very vividly. So I would love, when I go out and talk to people, I would love to always take this mural with me and just show it to people and being able to point. Look at the young lady here in the front filling a bucket on a standpipe. Standpipes are something we're seeing still in the communities. What do standpipes actually mean? They mean water security. When you have a drought like that, a lot of people resonate to using standpipes. Are standpipes something you want to have in the future? Might be debatable, because at the end what we want is constant good water supply and overcoming the stresses of climate change during droughts and flooding.
People passing by and seeing the process being done and telling us how much they like it, how much it improves the place, the message is about. And we did encourage some people to paint too, so they were part of it. And
that's always the fun part, when we get that interaction with people. We love being able to talk to people as they come by. I think that's for any of the work that we do. That's part of the benefit of doing work like murals, like large-scale work, is that we do get to engage with the public.
And that is the next step I want people to do. Conserve water. Be mindful. Shower in 5, not in 45. When soaping, turn off the water tap. It's warm enough to stand there. We're not in a cold country where you have to constantly be under the hot stream to feel comfortable. Don't clean your car with a running hose. Use a bucket and do it with a sponge and a bucket and conserve water that way. Use rainwater harvesting. Capture it on your roof. Make sure to capture it properly. Inform yourself of how to do it. Use expert advice. Get a water storage tank. Use water efficient toilets. Control your leakages on your property. So there's plenty of things you can do to conserve water and be part of the solution instead of saying that there is a problem.